As is typical for early season in the South Island, the weather has been atrocious, with multiple days of heavy rain and high winds. All the rivers are running high and dirty, and with a snowstorm in the forecast, you might think we'd be at home rugged up next to the fire. The cover of high water can often bring the largest fish in the river out of their hidey holes and tempt them to feed out in the open. Seasoned anglers know that these conditions can often yield some of the biggest fish of the year. It's a balancing act because cold water from snowmelt can often shut the fish down, so there's often only small windows of opportunity, but the only way to be there during those times is to endure the conditions. This is not picture postcard angling. You'll get cold and wet, but if you can be there in the right place at the right time, the fish of your dreams will be there for the taking.
Oh my God, that was the sickest eat I have ever experienced in my life. Like, we were all a part of that, you know?
For this big fish mission, we've enlisted 3 of the best fly fishing guides in the South Island. This mob have a truckload of experience fishing for giant brown trout. Tom Hodge is still a young man, but he has quickly entrenched himself as a premier guide and has many trophy trout under his belt. Hannah Clement is the joker of this group, but don't be fooled, she's a weapon with the fly rod and no stranger to big trout. Last but not least, Mike Kirkpatrick, a pure fly regular and one of the best big trout anglers in the country. It's a long drive on a rough track to get to the departure point, and then the team are faced with a solid 3-hour tramp to the hut.
Well, it's a bit worse than we expected on the weather front. Bloody driving rain, pretty bleak and cold, but I was out yesterday and it went pretty well in gale winds and torrential rain, so hey, it's going to be better than that.
Yeah, you know, the weather is a bit miserable, but I mean, it could be high flows. It's going to bring those big fish out, get them feeding, get them happy. So although it's going to be hard conditions, I think we could do well.
We know this valley as well, you know, we know what it's like to fish, and we don't always get a chance of when, but just get in there and get it done.
Absolutely.
Oh,
well, I'm cold.
Yeah, it's a wee bit chilly, but should we get our packs on and get going?
I think we should, yep. Oh, nice to see this.
Yeah, it's a big walk. A wet walk too.
Yep. Oh. Home sweet home for a while.
Oh, brilliant. No one here either. All to ourselves.
Empty, empty, empty.
To the bone wet.
Yeah, I somehow managed to get wet under my shorts.
Well, it's going to be nice to light that fire, that's for sure, and warm up a wee bit.
Yeah, I should actually get some wood, eh?
Yeah. Start cranking that up and look at dinner, eh?
Yeah, I might actually get some chicken.
The huge network of huts that dot the New Zealand backcountry are a national treasure, and a great indicator of how highly Kiwis value the outdoors. These simple buildings provide a warm, dry place to shelter from the often harsh conditions. Having a place to dry clothes by the fire and escape from the sandflies is a godsend in this remote country, and makes extended trips much easier and enjoyable.
Well, it's looking like it's clearing a bit from yesterday. Probably a little bit of a delayed start compared to what we normally do. I mean, she's already almost 9:30. But looking out there, I think, and how cold it's been in the mornings, there's no real reason to rush down to the river. I think the fish won't be active till maybe 11 o'clock, maybe even 12. So you don't want to get down there and be rushing past good water and the fish aren't active. So I think we'll take our time and see what happens from there. Yeah, she's been a pretty good night's sleep for everyone, I think. No snorers, luckily. And I think we've got about probably 8 hours, needed it. And there's a heap of gear that had to be dried, as you can see in the background. It's, everything was soaked. A big, long, very, very wet walk in, but I think we're set and ready to go now. Yeah, and hoping when we get down there it's going to be, certainly I think it'll be clear at the edges, possibly a little colour through the middle, but we know this catchment pretty well and it does clear very fast. So that's a real fillip for us, because on the way through, most of the rivers were chocolate. They were pretty bad, so I think it's about knowing your fishery, not rushing in too early, taking your time, being confident you know when the fish will feed.
the team has decided to walk downstream and fish up for the day. This is a tactic often used by Kiwi anglers on days when the water is cold. The theory being that the river will warm through the day, so you do your walking early, then fish your way back to the hut and maximise the last few hours of fishing.
So the river's, as we thought, big. It's certainly a bit discoloured. We're not going to be crossing it easily, maybe selected points.
Yeah.
And we've got a lot of high cloud, bit of rain cloud. So I think we're going to have to head down, fish off that high bank down there. We'll be able to see this side and then cross and then look back into this backdrop so we can see.
I think it'll work well.
Sounds like a good plan to me.
Yeah, yeah. Not going to be easy, and we've got a downstream breeze as well. I say breeze. She's pretty strong, so...
It'll pick up throughout the day as well.
Tommy, being a left-hander, is going to be in the box seat.
Yeah. Till we get up the river a wee bit, then it might switch around. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, so we're on the high bank over here, and from back there it looked a really nice piece of water to come and have a look at, and historically it's held a couple of fish. So we've dropped down, come in, and we've found a couple of good fish feeding out there. Pretty heavy sort of water, but they look to be going pretty well, so I think Hannah's up and we'll see where we go from there.
No pressure.
No pressure. Tommy, what do you reckon?
Yeah, personally me, I'd go big stony with that behind it.
Yeah, I would absolutely dredge that. And the other thing too, the other thing too that people don't consider is that when you've got a lot of wind, your tippet or fly line's going to get held up and pulled and drag the fly.
Absolutely.
If you can put some serious weight on there, that's going to help to straighten that out, get down, and then you can manage it sort of through.
Yeah.
It's actually going to give you a better drift. But normally if you've got low wind conditions, you're going to get a better drift when you've got lighter flies.
Yeah.
But in windy conditions, I think heavier flies are better drift.
Heavier, yeah.
You're going to be short on them.
Oh no, I can't see it.
That's right. I'll tell you. They need 2 metres on that hand. You want to be, you're landing past them by about at least 1 metre. Yeah, it looks better. Yeah, it's not bad. Can't see the fish now. Yeah, you could just draw. When you think you're about the place, so time it through.
Yeah.
And when it gets to about where he is, if you can't see him, just start to draw for weight.
Okay.
That's better.
Luckily, a long way out now, those fish though. Yeah, he's one just peeled off him.
When I casted, the first cast came slightly closer, so it probably sunk and obviously doesn't want to come into the shallows to feed. So next cast, put it out, couldn't quite see the indicator, and I reckon I pushed him out further into the deeper edge. We'll see if there's another one up here. First one's just a tester.
It's about 15, 17 metres out, about that angle. And he's elevating a bit.
That's better, much better. Don't mend that.
Oh, there's one under it. Yeah, go.
Oh, off them.
You were too late, yeah. As soon as that twitches, got a set. Well, the first one took, he was just a little hesitant for a second. It just twitched and then dipped. And that first twitch, you've just got to be straight away start to draw for weight, you know. You got to get in there, and if you snooze, you lose a little bit in this game. It was good cast, everything right, just got to really react straight away. Now he's real catchable, eh? He's in a good place. And that's a pretty good fish. Oh yeah, it's a goodie.
And the boys and I have just spotted a really nice feeding fish down below, to the side a little bit, obviously been pushed out from that high water. But hopefully we'll put a plan into action and fool it to take one of our flies.
The old Scott centric. Yeah, I used to use the meridians like these guys are running. And Scott meridians, and they're really good backcountry in this sort of wind, but this one's probably just a bit lighter and a bit more crisp. So probably a good choice in the wind a bit. We were battling 2 days ago, 60, 70k an hour downstream winds and throwing a lot of weight to trout lying a little deeper, and we're getting the flies in there. in the right place generally. Yeah, I've been pushed into the hot seat because Tommy's left-hander and I'm right-hander. With this wind, it's a bit easier for me. And there's a fish down in here. I'm going to get another look at him quickly. But he's elevating a bit, so it doesn't have to be very heavy. I'm going to put a single nymph on, probably no indicator, I think. And Tommy will call it because I won't be able to see anything down there. I tend to go with a long leader regardless, and in this case my leader is going to be about probably 18 feet. A lot of reasons for it. Simply it allows me to control, you know, the amount of slack I put in it, and controls drift better, and takes the drag out of it, and drag will put fish down. Yeah, 18 feet sounds extreme to some people. In New Zealand, you know, because of the clarity of the water and the spookiness of the trout, I think it's a bit of a go-to. I think you need to be long to be consistently successful. In this situation, this allows me to, I've got weight in the fly, which helps me propel the fly where I want. It's a little slightly different casting. I'm not going to be using much fly line.
Despite some great presentations, Mike was unable to get any interest out of this fish. It seems like the cold water might be affecting the fish, and that they are not in full feeding mode yet. The team push on up the valley, knowing that eventually they will find a trout that is active and therefore easier to hook.
I found a big fish out in here. He actually just came up and ate an emerger. He seems to be quite a happy trout. You can kind of see the big smudge out there, so I'm just going to watch him for a second, see what he does, and make a cast at him. Fish of this calibre, I kind of want to nail that first or second cast, so I'm going to walk out to almost this cluster of rocks here, and then I'm really going to try land it right up above him and see what he does.
Get him, Tommy. This is great. Grandstand, lunch. He's a gladiator. It feels like he's the gladiator, and we're the crowd sitting in the bleachers. Yeah, nice. Come on. Come on, eat. Oh, he had a wee dip. Yeah, good cast, buddy. He had a wee dip at that. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Yep. Well done, mate.
That was epic. That was...
I knew not to put it close on him. I knew he'd have to move.
Good fish, Tom?
Yeah, feels it, eh? Looks it in the length too.
Oh yeah. Good on you, mate. You might have odd walk out, eh? Because he's got a lot of line drag. The old Tommy's heading out in a hurry because there's a lot of line out. The fish was most of the way across, and you get a lot of line drag, and when you get line drag in the water, it can pull the hook, and you lose control of the fish. So he's gone out, and now he's got a bit of control on him again. Oh, he's a big fish. All right.
Even about there, Mike, he's actually just coming straight in. Woo woo.
Yeah.
Come back up here. He's almost gonna.
There's a wee pocket behind this, just in here. See, actually, even this water here.
Yeah, gotcha.
And just run him into the shallows a bit. Take his power away. Watch that iron rod there, mate. Yeah, pull this way. That's the one. Well done.
You got him?
Yep.
Yeah, nice one, Mike. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, mate.
Yeah, he's a double, all right, mate.
Stoked! Thank you, mate.
Right
Good netting.
Yeah, he's a beaut, I'd say. Be 11.
Yeah, I got digi scales if you want me to get him.
quick.
Otherwise, I mean, on that you can kind of roughly tell. It's so worn. But I'll put him at about a double, at about, 11. I can see right there.
Oh, yeah.
11 and a quarter. Oh, I'm over the moon with that, eh? Stoked! I weighed it out, you know, to get a closer approach to him so I could nail my cast, and the first two casts were pretty much straight over his nose. I thought were perfect, and Mike actually mentioned that on my third cast he full on moved out of the way and dodged it, so it was obvious that I needed to change the fly. So I went with a different fly change and a different approach to the fish, just landing a little bit shorter and not down his throat, making him move towards it, and thankfully he came over and grabbed it. I mean, this shows evidence that when you're battling out hard conditions, high river flows and bad weather, you can still come up and see some really true quality fish and do well. I mean, we haven't seen any fishermen, we're the only ones up here, and the fish we have been seeing, I mean, they're pretty happy and they're of decent size. Absolutely over the moon with you. It's been a challenging day, so to get him, I'm very happy.
Well, this is a classic example, given the lighting conditions, of having, you know, 2 or 3 pairs of really good eyes used to spotting trout. Down in here it's a bit harder to see, but on the high bank behind, Hannah and Tom looking out.
Spotting against the bank.
Yep, and Hannah's picked one up in here and he looks pretty happy, moving around in the shallow. So it's, I mean, from this angle looking up you couldn't see anything, but from back there you could.
You could see him quite visibly, yeah. Yep.
Oh well.
Come on, Mikey. Oh, great cast. Right of him.
Straight past him.
That was it.
Go on.
Yep. Went in the shallows. You put it in the shallow side.
Yeah, he didn't take it though. Yeah, well they're being a bit difficult. When I say that, it's probably me not getting a good enough drift. And they keep having a go at it and they're just not quite hooking up. The stars aren't aligning at the moment. There's times like this where you've got to sort of bite down on it and go back to the basics and understand the wind's going to cause a few problems and try to find ways to solve the equation. And that's what I'll do now, something big and ugly in front of him and adding weight to try and get right down there so he's got no choice.
Mike can't buy a fish at the moment, but most of these trout are in the trophy class, so the team expect them to be hard, even at the best of times. Seasoned guys develop a never say die attitude when chasing big fish. It's a high stakes game where determination and grit are as valuable as skill and execution. It seems that the water is warming, and if they can cover some ground, they'll give themselves plenty of chances at the fish of a lifetime.
You want to see the white rock, that's
Out
your
from
target.
there, yeah.
Out and down a little bit. You want to land exactly 2 meters in front of that. And then watch that indicator. It's quite close, so it will register quick.
Yeah, fuck, that was under for ages. Well done.
He's not a giant fish, but you know, he's one to the rod. Right, might have to go down a little bit here. Yeah. Tom!
Get below him, that's it. Yeah, that's the way.
There we go, babe. Thanks, dear. So Tom, just walking up the bank, spotted this little guy. You know, dependent on the size, he actually put up like a stellar fight. Took us all the way down the bank, so.
A fish is a fish on a day like that.
They're always fun too, like look, you know, fit as. That's what you want.
Found a rather large looking specimen that I don't know, we don't really want to guess, but he's and big. And I'm going to have a crack. I haven't had such a great day so far, but He's not moving much, so we'll try and throw something big at him and make him move. Or cue this face. He's like this.
He's massive.
He's right now trying to intimidate me.
He's
like
winning.
That. Really? Is that what you got? I got this.
Good presentation is key here, Mike.
Am I getting chipped from the bleachers?
I'd expect nothing less of you.
Yeah, that's bloody huge.
Personally, I think that was too close.
We can see the worm go straight past it.
Yeah. Maybe. Oh, he's moving.
Oh,
Michael. Oh. Oh. That's a big fish. Oh, that's cool. You can see the fly.
No, you can see it.
Oh,
He's coming
Oh,
out.
he's looking.
oh.
You had him.
Yeah, I fucking did. So excuse me.
Was it a need or a refusal?
No, he came over, lined it twice, and the last time I put it in there and gave it a twitch, gave it a wee draw, and then he went like that and rolled.
Right,
He ate it.
close,
I know,
I reckon he ate it.
dumped it. When I gave it a twitch, he went boom, I saw his mouth just go like that, and then he dropped it straight away.
Yeah.
Moved off into deeper water, I can still see him. Might put something heavier on and have another crack, but I'd say the show's over on this one.
That's what I'm trying. I'm putting it out further just in case. Yep, I'm on. Oh, this feels decent. This is a big fish. I'm gonna take him down here. Hannah, grab the net.
Holy crap, Tommy, what were you doing? No way.
I'm gonna try take him right down to the bottom of the pool because there's more chance of landing him than up in this heavy water. Just be careful with the netting, Hannah. I've got a trail fly behind it. I don't want you to catch that.
What are the odds of that, huh? No. You didn't lift his head.
That's a big boy. Real big.
Gotta lift its head.
I'll get him.
He's gonna kick.
Head in.
Whoa.
Yeah, get in. Yeah. Sit there, look at him, because I'll go again. Yeah.
Hey, good job.
Nice, really clean.
So
big
clean, eh?
jack, really pretty, yeah, gorgeous.
So what I'm doing here, I'm just, I always carry digi scales with me to get the true weight. I mean, these McLean's nets are pretty accurate, but I find the truth, you can never lie with these. So find out the truth on how heavy he is. So he's 11.8 pound by the looks to me. So I was just walking up the river and we came up to this beautiful pool, but oddly there was nothing out in the open. So I was just saying to Nick that maybe I should put a check nymph through the really deep pocket of it where we couldn't see into, and sort of first cast angled it up on the bar where they like feeding, and as soon as it drifted down into the deep I just felt a bit of a tap, and so I whacked it, and yeah, it came up pretty solid, and as soon as I hooked it I could feel the weight, so I knew it was a good fish. And after a good fight, good bit of netting, we got this beast to the net, so absolutely over the moon.
Look at that shoulder, eh?
So Tom's just landed another stunning fish. The boy's having a blinder. And we just walked up in here and the river's colouring up really fast from rain in the headwaters. Like, we've been dry all day, but it's just really raining back in there. And there's a pool down here and there's a really, really good looking fish as well. And with the colour in the water, I think probably a little bit easier to approach now, and I think she's got a good chance. Try again, a bit more.
Further up.
Yeah, you got to put another 2 metres on it.
2 meters?
Yeah, 2 metres further.
Oh, you shouldn't have done that mend.
Yeah, bend it, you don't, yeah, if it's that close, don't bend, yeah, you're right.
Try again, but don't mend it. Leave it, leave it. Here it comes.
Shit of a drift. Try again, yeah, he's still out there.
Oh! Michael! So I've just been fishing to this fish now for a little while. I don't think my flies have been getting deep enough, so Mike jumped in there for a bit as well. It wasn't until he chucked on a super heavy stonefly and twitched it along the bottom that the fish had a little bit of interest and charged up on it. So he's been fishing to it for a little bit. He's kind of given up because it's not responding. So Tommy's tying on a streamer. We're going to give it a go, chuck it out and see what happens. You know, it's a fairly big fish, so it'll be interesting to see if it's interested in an articulated fly.
Big massive thing. Manic fly collection, and they call this the sex dungeon.
The weather's closing in, the river's gotten high and it's coloured up a little bit, so we've got select amount of time to get this thing wet and get it moving.
Oh, he's after it. Oh!
Ah!
Yes. Go! Yeah, let him run! Let him run, let him run, let him run, let him run!
Oh, God! What the hell? Oh my God! Babe, did you see that? My heart is pounding so bad. Like, this is why we do this, you know? Oh my God. Yes!
Okay. Take your time, you basically got him. Now start leading away into here. Start dragging him into the shallows. Go
down, go.
No, go wide. You go wide.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Be cool. That eat was far out.
Oh, I don't think it's a good place to net him there, actually.
Wait.
I don't think you're going to do that, though. Don't panic on him. You've got him under control.
Nice and easy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah, that looks like 12 pound or whatever it means.
Look at that paddle tail.
Now start walking.
Yeah.
Out of the water. Out of the water, back that way.
Okay. Here we go. Go. Go.
Walk back so you drag it back. Your rod tip there is not going to do it. Now start going that way.
Yep. Yep. He's coming.
That streamer's not coming out in a hurry. Come on. No, head down.
He's too big. Let me come in.
Yep, that's it.
Come on, in there,
Oh,
in there.
get in the net, baby.
Well done.
It's gold.
Yeah, it's a good trophy.
It's happening again.
Hey, Hannah. Well done. Well done. Good cast.
Hey girl, good job. That was awesome. Well
You'll
done.
never forget that in your life. You're never going to forget
so
that.
Look at that 6 dungeon, baby.
Fish of the day too, he's just under 30.
Ah, yes!
Fish of the day, well done. Well done.
You're getting sent under, Tom.
Oh my God. That was the sickest eat I have ever experienced in my life. Like, we were all a part of that, you know?
You know the funny thing too? He's almost a little lean in the belly. That's definitely a mouser, yeah.
Oh God. I feel like I'm gonna throw up so fucking bad. We found this fish and, you know, the river was coloring up quite badly and very fast. Tommy had just landed his fish and we were like, oh, it might be the last opportunity. So I had a shot at it with a couple of heavy flies. Didn't look. Mike had a go at it. It chased a big stonefly. And so I thought, well, if he can't catch it, I'll chuck a streamer at it. And I ate a massive 6 dungeon. First ever streamer eat and a trophy on the fly. The fight was unreal. I thought I literally was dry reaching the whole way on the run down. So this day has been quite challenging for me. My first fish of the day I lost right at the start. I got a little bait fish earlier, but you know, it's nothing compared to this guy. And this valley can be seriously challenging and it's very temperamental.
Hannah's trout was an incredible way to finish a crazy day of backcountry fishing. Capturing 3 trophy trout in the same day is a rare occurrence. Many anglers will fish for most of their lives without landing a trout of that calibre. It is even more impressive given the conditions of high water and strong headwinds. As the weather takes another turn for the worst, the crew retreat to the shelter of the hut for the night. Swapping yarns by the warmth of the fire as you shovel down a well-earned meal is a highlight of these missions. Mike is due for some luck, and the team hatch a plan to get him into the fish the next day.
Well, she's another tough one. Yesterday was wind and rain and everything else, and she's changed around to southerly, and now we've got snow everywhere.
Oh yeah, no, last night it really dropped in on us actually. Yeah,
Yeah.
We're sort of lucky that it's not snowing on us right now when we woke up. It light dusting and snow everywhere.
Yeah, and it's bloody frigid, I can tell you that.
Oh yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what the fish behaviour's like today actually. Oh
We have to work hard and maybe hopefully get a few.
Yeah, no, it's going to be tough conditions today, but we're going to try our best, and I think we'll be able to find some fish.
You know what? You don't catch fish on the couch.
No.
Yeah, so we're just heading down to drop our packs down and fish up on our last day, and stopped here off this high bank to have a look, and found one which moved off, and then we found another, and he's quite a wee way out and deep, but he's moving a bit. So something big and heavy, depth charge him out of there if we can. Yeah, I mean, given the the cold and everything else, if you see a fish, you don't really want to walk past them if you see them feeding, so it's worth a crack. Yeah, especially given the quality of the fish we've been seeing. At the moment they're all absolute rippers, so I don't think this will be any exception. Tell me if you think it's right.
Keep going, there. Great cast. He's coming. Wait, left! Yeah. I'll go get the net.
He's a smaller guy, I think. No, he's a little guy. At least it's a fish. Oh, I got 7 pound. He chased that a long way. Yeah, he came a long way for that, apparently, because it landed and he went past him and he said he's chasing it, and must have been about 1.5 meters, 2 meters down. It's one of the smaller ones, but after yesterday, I'll take it. Yeah, well, Tom's gone to get the net, and it's a wee way down, so I'll try and get him myself here. Well, I tell you, after yesterday's performance, I'm pretty happy to actually get one.
Yeah.
It's a wee fella, but maybe that's a sign that they're getting on the feed a bit. Pretty frigid conditions, it really is. Cold, snow everywhere, snowing as we speak. But and even though he's not the big fish we're chasing, still great fun to hook them up and great to work in with Tom there.
It's a nice start for Mike, but not the trout that he was hoping for. The crew are determined to get a big fish for Mike, and it's not long until they spot 2 big trout feeding at the top of a pool. Hannah and Tom once again call Mike in for the shot, in the hope that all 3 anglers get a trophy for the trip.
Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Try that. Perfect. Leave it, leave it, leave it, leave it. Left. Good fishing, Mike, good fishing.
Might be back over that side in a minute.
Okay.
Said it might be back over that side in a minute.
It'll be easier to land on this side though, unless we go way down.
It will be, but
We'll take them over for the film.
yeah.
Oh, hard luck. Hard luck.
He jumped and landed on the line.
There's still 2 above him. When it jumped out of the water, I think it must have landed on the tipper quite hard and it's just slightly bent out his hook. And so, yeah, no, good fish, but just straightened out the hook. When he leapt out, must have just landed on the tipper on a wet angle and unlucky. Did nothing wrong, just hook opened up a wee bit.
Yeah.
The little back trailer was snapped off though, but you can tell that he probably ate in the top one just because of how it's straightened, and maybe the little one went with him or something. Hard luck, good fishing, but hard luck.
It's more bad luck for Mike, but the fish are definitely on the chew, and now more than ever, the crew are determined to keep pushing, knowing that Mike is only 1 cast away from reversing his fortune.
Yeah. No, if we find an easy one, I think we'll just go until we find an easier one in a likely spot.
Yeah, makes sense to me. Great cast. Maybe a bit short.
It needed to be longer, and I'm trying to get it left. Too short.
Those flies getting down.
No, they should be. Just got to get it further up though.
Yes. Good cast.
Alright, didn't want it.
Yeah, Yates ain't right then.
He did, yeah. Oh, that's short, Michael.
Yeah, I reckon another good metre and a half
Yeah, I know.
up.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do. I don't want to get too long and get
No,
caught in that
yeah,
shit.
and fly line and like, oh yes, I love that. That's great cast. Yes! Yes! Nice one, Mike.
Look, you
Good
think
fishing.
Took me 4 casts to get the bloody length on it. Not a very big guy, I don't think.
You loved it in the water though, eh?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I knew it as soon as it landed. It's like, that's the cast.
Gonna eat it. Those swimming mayfly nymphs again.
Yeah. Clean, very clean.
It's a day of the dink for me, I think. I'll try and maybe that pocket below you.
Yeah, I was about to say, maybe I'll get down a wee bit.
Yeah, should be able to. He's got a bit in him, so.
Yeah, I won't do it until his head's
fish.
right up on the surface.
I've got 2 nymphs as well, so just gonna be
I
a
think
little
he's
bit.
eating that bottom one.
I think he's the bottom one?
Yep.
That's good.
So I'm gonna, I'm not having a swipe, put it that way.
No. Yeah, absolutely. Just pinching on that line a little bit too, just to help the drag out a bit. That's some serious horsepower. No, it's not even close to getting his head up yet. See it?
Nice, Mike. That's a stunning fish. Look at the spots on it. Look at that, so clean.
I've been catching the babies, but
He's not a mite. He looked way bigger in the water to me. Eh?
yeah. Well, it's really lovely to get that, and Tom was great about giving instructions. It was very hard to see where he was and what he was doing, but pretty clear call on where he was, and just see him ducking around behind a white rock, and tried 3 or 4 casts to get it in the right place, and got one another metre further, and got the flies down in the zone. He took the bottom small 16. And lovely, just a gorgeous, really clean. As Tom eloquently put, beautiful pelt on him. Look at that. Oh, well, away he goes. Thank you, fishy. Well, it's actually really funny that there's a lot of good sized fish in here, but I've managed to hook up the wee ones, but the big ones are remaining elusive. It's funny, sitting here having lunch, I'm just sort of thinking, you know, you guys have nailed some spectacularly beautiful fish, and I haven't been lucky today, and I just haven't quite nailed it. And whether I get one or not, you got to keep in perspective that it's not about just catching big fish, it's about enjoying your mates and having fun and having a laugh like we did in the hut all night last night.
Oh, totally.
And look, if I don't get it done today, hey, look, I still had a great trip.
And look where we are. Look at the surroundings. The scenery is just unbelievable with the snow drop down.
I mean, look at that, it's stunning, yeah. I think you can lose perspective pretty quick actually if you only want to catch a big fish, and that's all. There's more to it than that.
Oh, hell yeah. You get a clear window, you go, oh yeah, I see him.
I haven't got a window yet. I see the shade.
There, I just got a clear, I just got the clear window.
Yeah, so there's him, yeah. Just needed to see him.
Yeah.
So
I'll just keep watching him.
Yeah, and I'll put 2 nymphs on.
Yeah, he's just moved in. He's big, he's dub. Have a go at him too.
Okay.
He just fed. Bit right. He's not as big, but he's good. More right.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that's where I'm trying to go. I can see him.
Left!
Oh!
Indicator never moved.
What's that?
Indicator never moved.
No, I try not to get it on the bloody inside of him because it was getting pushed that way.
It came, that was the cast, came on the inside, he darted forward and just smashed it.
Okay.
That was epic. This is a big,
I could not, for the life of me, get it one more foot to the left.
You had so many good casts, seriously, so many good casts.
Yeah, but I just don't like him on that inside edge.
What about you, Ed?
He's not very big again.
No, he's a double. He's definitely a double.
You reckon?
Fuck yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I think the other one was bigger than this.
Nah, the other one was cleaner and nicer looking, but I think this is a dub.
Let's take it easy with him. Much of the last one landing on the bloody line. Thanks, Tommy. Well, I've got to say, on the record, that was some really good Tom Hodge guiding. He's had a lot in the tank, and he's showing that now.
I'll be shocked if he'll be thin if it's 8, you know what I'm saying? I think he's a dub. I'm gonna go 10, 10 and 3/4, that's my guess.
Okay, you might be schooling me here, Tommy. So after I had those 2 hooks open up, one and then another slightly, I'm a bit nervous about that batch of hooks. I'm just going to ease off. I've got his head up a little, no, not yet.
Nah, quite.
You're right there, Tom. I've got his head now.
Nah, I wasn't comfortable.
No, you're right. Do it again, I'll just do the same thing. No, you just get a little further down, I'll try and turn his head to you.
Yeah, I want to go head first. Well done, Mike. Cracking fish. Oh, he's up there.
Thank you, you bastard! It's been a really long and frustrating day, and the guys sort of rallied round a little bit where it just wasn't working. Hooking fish, losing fish, missing takes, missed a big double down and just in here actually. Had 3 goes at flies, felled in, bumped them, just wasn't working. And you know, full credit and thanks to Tom and Hannah for putting me in again a few times. They're class acts. And Tommy for some great guiding on that fish where I couldn't see. So I think I hooked something like 6 or 7 fish today and finally got this guy in the net. That's what we came here for, the big boys. You know, that if you get in there and you hit it hard and you keep believing, you keep going, you can get it done. And you know, even if I'm cold and a bit miserable, it's epic to finish like this.
Trophy trout fishing in New Zealand is always about teamwork, and these 3 have shown the power of that approach by achieving 4 trophy trout between 3 different anglers in just 2 days. The perfect finale to this series of Pure Fly NZ. When you're fishing in what is widely considered to be the best fly fishery in the world, you'd be mad to compromise on quality, which is why Pure Fly NZ has chosen to partner with these great companies. You can rely on their products to deliver the goods for you on your next adventure.